Greetings to everybody tuning in to watch this sometime in the future. I'm glad you're here, regardless of how much of my previous stuff you've seen. It's alright, you can start watching here. This can be the first episode that you see. You're not gonna miss out on much. I don't have much going on yet. I haven't really accomplished anything yet. I just got a tiny house. So, I welcome you to the Prologue world, in which I'm still getting started on things. I mean, this is like the 19th episode, but Minecraft takes forever. It really does. So especially the way that I play, I'm not really trying to do anything sensational here. I'm just taking it very slow, playing it however I feel like. This is meant to be a record of the way that I like to play Minecraft, and I'm trying to keep it maximally authentic in that regard. So I'm not trying to appeal to YouTube trends. All right, so that's kind of the pitch, I guess, of what this is supposed to be like. I'm also trying to appeal to crazy people. Like if you're a normal chap and you're just trying to find something to entertain yourself with, like this might not be for you. Like it's not really. I say that this is meant to be slightly entertaining. Like I'm really not trying to gain any YouTube notoriety whatsoever, because I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to be. Wow, that's a lot of zombies coming my way. That's alright, they can't hurt me. I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to actually just expose my crazy, the strange ways, my strange behavior in Minecraft worlds. Like, I don't really understand entirely why I do some of the things that I do. I'd like to think that I have some kind of a obsessive-compulsive disorder or something like that, but I don't really know. I've never been formally diagnosed with anything, so I don't know. Maybe this is actually normal, and what you see otherwise is actually, like, the world is insane, all right? And I'm the normal one, right? That's how I like to think about it. So anyways, I hope that you will enjoy this video, but as I warned you, I'm going to start actively discouraging people from watching the rest of the video from now on. So you've been warned, all right? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about liminal space animism. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about how Minecraft is kind of like a liminal space horror game, and that's how I like to think about it. And the animism aspect of it has to do with the way that I play Minecraft. All right, I need to sleep, because I do want to be sleeping every night, even though just a little bit, just to avoid the phantoms. All right. I think I gotta eat. I think I gotta eat an apple. Yeah. There's that. And that's all the zombies burning away. And I think I'm gonna be chopping more trees today. I know I've been doing that for a long while now, but there's still more trees. I looked around the area where I'm trying to build the sheep farm, and there's actually I wanted to extend further out, so there's gonna actually more trees to chop now. So I hope you're okay with that. I know it's been a very long time that I've been just chopping trees, but this is typical, all right? This is normal Minecraft, where you end up just chopping trees for like. I'm gonna need more hose. I'm gonna need more. I might actually have some of this stuff over here, because I thought I was gonna be done with chopping trees, but I'm not. Yeah, see, I already have my spare hoe and spare chopper. Axes, that's what they're called, axes. My chop axe. Okay. I'm gonna do some farming later on. It looks like everything is kind of ready there, prepared. All right. I think I got my shield. I got my shield equipped. I'm all set. Let's just go ahead and collect all of this free items. The precious free rotting flesh. You know it's gonna come in handy one day when you gotta feed your dog or something. You know, you gotta make sure to collect all of. I love to hoard all of the useless items in this game. They will eventually, one day, they will all come in handy. One day. I'm gonna plant all of those saplings. I'm just gonna go ahead and freaking do this right now, because it just takes a second. All right, just that. The wheat. You know what? I could just do the wheat. No, I want to do that at night. I like to farm at night. That's it. That's all. Now I can go chop trees and talk about liminal space animism now. Let's go do that. It's time. So, the liminal space. What's liminal? What's a liminal space? I'm sure this genre has been popularized fairly recently on YouTube. It's basically the Backrooms genre, right? Everybody's watched some of the Backrooms videos, right? You've seen the Backrooms videos. If you haven't watched the Backrooms videos, you should totally do that sometime. The concept is you're kind of stuck in this endless space, endless office space where it's just rooms and hallways that seem to be underground or something. There's no windows, and it's kind of like a nightmarish place that doesn't make any sense. You don't know how you got there, or perhaps you remember it, and it's like you how do they call it? They call it clipping. If you clip through, no clip through the bottom of the world or something to end up in the back rooms, right? And that's what a liminal space is essentially. That's the best way to define it. Is it's a space that's akin to the backrooms. I mean, it has a more precise definition, and the backrooms kind of started with that. The more precise definition, if you look it up, you'll find something that calls it something akin to the. Well, you'll find something that's something like. It's a transitionary space, a place, something that in transition, where so like the hallways are meant to be liminal because you're wandering from, you're kind of getting the hallways are an in-between space, right? So they're kind of meant to be, so it makes sense how the hallways are liminal in that sense of the word, that it's like a transitional thing. So but the modern usage of the word kind of disregards that original definition mostly. Now it's just kind of like, well, it's something that's like the Backrooms, essentially. It's like a nightmarish place in which it's a space in which there's a lot of stuff that's kind of vaguely familiar, but still like not repetitive. Like it's extremely repetitive in one sense, in the sense that it's just the same yellow walls with the same wallpaper everywhere, and it's just endless hallways and office spaces with no windows in it, with some like strange some every now and then you'll see an out of place couch just sitting by itself in a room, and otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. And like the lights, like it'll have like the what's the word, the kind of lights that they use, the flickery lights, I forget the term. Hello, sheep. I forget words. I don't know. Words are hard. But how far do I want to go today? I don't want to go super far with these trees. So I'm gonna call this like the boundary. And Minecraft is kind of very much like that, right? So it's a space of, like, there's a lot of repetitive stuff, but yet it never really repeats. Like it's all, there's still a great variety to it. Like it's all like the forest biome is a prime example of this. I mean, every biome in Minecraft, I guess with the exception, the mountains are pretty cool. But all the other biomes, like all of these, the regular biomes, like the forest, the desert, the swamp biome, they all will look remarkably similar. I mean, the forest biome is kind of the most canonical, the most vanilla sort of biome in Minecraft. That this is how Minecraft started out as. This is exactly what you didn't even used to have tall trees. It used to be just the small trees, but nevertheless, it never repeats. There's like an immense amount of grainy variation of I guess an expression of, what's the word? God, words are hard. I hate words. There's a term for this. It's not grain. Fuzziness. The fuzziness, and it's like it's a generation term. It's a terrain generation term. It's like it's in the world of procedural generation, they use this term a lot. Crap, I don't remember the word. I'm going to have to write it into the the description, the video description. That's where all of my tip of the tongue words go end up in. I'll remember it later on, and I'll just write it into the video description. But it's kind of the grainy feed, the randomness element of it, right? So that it's still kind of random. Like the terrain itself, there's lots of, it's not the same everywhere. So there's that aspect of it. But the most important thing about it is it feels scary. It feels spooky. It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's like the Backrooms. They feel like they're built for something, right? Like somebody built those things. Somebody made that world. But like it doesn't make sense. Like who would want endless office space, endless hallways with rooms that don't have windows, that lead to nowhere, with just carpeted and lit up, and it's lit up like it's somebody has turned the electricity stays on. Somebody's paying for like lots of electricity. Apparently it's on the surface, that's what it looks like, but it doesn't quite make sense. Why would it be such a thing be going on? And then you run into like the entities. You run into really scary stuff. You run into you hear scary sounds, and if you follow them, you'll eventually run across this like the shadow monster that seems to go really fast and make really loud, really scary sounds that just chases you around, and you're supposed to like hide in the dark or something like that. And it's a horror genre nowadays. It's an internet horror genre, liminal space horror, and I do think that Minecraft is very much like this. And I'm not like this isn't, I'm sure lots of videos have been made on this topic. This isn't an original thought, unlike some of my other thoughts. I'm sure you'll find other videos talking about how Minecraft is kind of like that. It's a liminal space horror game, and you can think of it as like that, because it also gives you this spooky impression that you're being watched, that the walls are watching you. The walls are listening in and looking at your every move, and there's some kind of a nefarious scheme to all of this. But liminality is supposed to refer to like transitional. It's supposed to be transitional, and in that regard, it's hard to call it transitional. Like Minecraft, it's not like you always intend to play worlds indefinitely. Like the objective is never to just die and then start over, like hardcore mode is supposed to be. But even in hardcore mode, like anymore, like I don't want to just start over my worlds anymore. I intend to just reincarnate myself after I die in this world, which still hasn't happened. This is still genuine hardcore currently, and I do intend to keep it that way. But I've already made up my mind that this isn't going to. This world is going to persist. I'm not just going to start over if I die in this world, because this is already my 6th attempt at this, and I'm getting a little. I'm starting to get the restart fatigue. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where like in Minecraft, if you keep starting over, eventually it gets really. It doesn't feel as fresh anymore when you restart. I call it restart fatigue. All right, I think it's time to sleep. I think we're good to sleep here. The stars are out. It's time to sleep. So, why am I talking about this? This has a lot to do with the way I play Minecraft, actually. The crazy way in which I play Minecraft. So far, I got carried away. These last a bunch of episodes, I got carried away chopping trees because I'm trying to make my way towards the space where I plan to build a sheep farm. Right around this tree, like the reason I'm going in this particular direction is because of this tree, because there was this massive tree in the middle of the forest that I really liked, and I decided this is a good spot. Like I really like the big trees, feel special, especially when they're naturally generated big trees, right? Like this one too. This one is a smaller tree, but it's also kind of big. It's also pretty cool. So those kinds of trees, I'm very fond of them, and I like to. I feel like if the world of Minecraft, if this world, this naturally generated world, if it had a spirit to it, if it was conscious, if there was this animism, that's where the animism comes into play. So and the liminal spaces have this sense of this. What makes them a nightmarish is the animism in it, the sensation that the walls are watching you. And Minecraft, it also kind of feels that way. Like I like to at least role play with that sensation in mind, feeling like like I'm interacting with a cognizant world, with a world that is aware of me and is perhaps testing me in some kind of way, and is actively trying to kill me, but also is rooting for me, also wants me to survive as it's trying to kill me. Because I guess it's like the idea is it's trying to sort of test my aptitude. That's how I like to imagine it, at least. That's what I think of the spirit of Minecraft. That's how I like to characterize it as. And of course, this is very anthropomorphized. Like it would be nice if a human being had that kind of sentiment, regarded you with that kind of sentiment. Well, that would be kind of supportive. That would be kind of nice and supportive of them, to kind of encourage you to like not give up on things, to try harder on things, to persevere, while also staying very cautious and making sure that you're not going to, like, being wary of the dangers, right? So those are good human things, and those are things that you shouldn't, you wouldn't encourage, and a kind person would encourage. It's good advice, right? That's good advice, and that's kind of that's how I imagine the spirit of Minecraft. That's kind of the sentiment that I like to ascribe to the spirit of Minecraft, which is completely fictional, of course. As far as I know, of course, we may be living in a paranormal reality. If the paranormal reality is true, there may be something to it. It may turn out to be the case that there is indeed a spirit of Minecraft that is indeed watching your every move. That and that would be cool. Of course, I'm not. There's no way to confirm that, of course. Although sometimes extremely unlikely, seemingly very unlikely things tend to happen that make me think that there is something paranormal going on. For instance, this world feels incredibly geared towards me. Like this spawn, just the fact that I was spawned next to a very tall, stony mountain, that in itself is actually very rare. Like one in thousands spawns. You will get this, where you get spawned very close to a large calcite mountain, is what I call it. Like you can see some of the calcite there. There's calcite veins in this. Like I love those kinds of biomes, and it's very rare that you naturally spawn into a seed like that. You can use, like, if you use the seed hunting website, Seed Chunk or whatever, Seed Base Chunk, I forget what it's called. You can use that site to sort of to re-roll seeds, to just continue to just search. You can do some seed searching. And I did that for Mundane World 3, for that save, for the Mundane World 3 save, which I ended up dying very early on in that game. Even though, like, I did manage to find a good seed, but it wasn't even, like, the Stony Mountain wasn't even close to the spawn. It was still, like, a good, kilometer or two away from the spawn, and that was just the best that I could find after hours of hunting, for seed hunting. And I felt bad. I felt bad about doing it artificially. It felt superficial. It makes it feel like it makes you feel like you're doing something greedy when you're doing that. When you search for a specific kind of seed that's not like a random seed. That's like, this is what I want. Whereas I think that if Minecraft had a spirit to it, I think it would want you to explore whatever random world it generates for you. Because when it does that, like, there's so many Minecraft worlds that you'll never, like, there's so many Minecraft seeds, I guess. The idea is, like, you will never come across the same seed twice if you're doing that. Like, the calculations are absurd, in terms of, like, how many times would you have to spawn a world to actually see all of them. If you were to respawn a world, like, how many times a second? Just if you were to want to see all of them within your lifetime, how much would you? Like, it's like something absurd, like just millions of worlds per second you would have to spawn, or something like that, to actually witness all of them. So the point is, if you're just naturally spawning into a completely random world, it's very likely that nobody has ever witnessed it, that it's yours. It's brand new. The world Minecraft has generated this new world that nobody has ever seen before, that is entirely yours. And that makes it feel special. It makes it feel like it's something that's unique to you. That procedural generation aspect of it. It's very endearing. I really like that about Minecraft. And even though it's very repetitive, like, it's still, like, there's still going to be, like, characteristic features of it that are unique to every world, especially, like, around the spawn. I mean, certainly, you can just wander around any world to find cool spots in it. This is true. This is absolutely true. And even then, like, there's so much variation that, you know, it might take you a long time to find a specific kind of feature that you're looking for, if you're looking for something very specific. All right, how much more? This might be as many trees as I need, actually. I need to go back to the house and drop the stuff off, and then come back out here and tell you guys about my plans for the sheep farm, for the reasons why I felt the need to chop more trees today. And so, anyways, why am I talking about this, and what does this have to do with the way that I play this game? So, the way that I play this game is I like to place my structures in spots that feel right for it. Like, I like the structures to sort of fit the terrain, and I take into consideration certain, you know, things like the ley lines. So, you know, the cornerstone that here I need to give this like that, you see where those posts are, those fence posts? Those fence posts mark a ley line. It's an edge of a Minecraft map. So if I was to make a Minecraft map here, right here, it would have, like, this house would show up being close to this edge, which I believe is a south. Like, I think we're facing south right now. No, this is north. This is north. So you would be, like, at the top of the map. And I try to build my builds in such a way that avoids making them look like they're crossing those ley lines in the wrong way or something like that. You know, like, I like them to fit either I want things to either fit the terrain perfectly well. I mean, fit the maps perfectly well where. I need to focus on what I'm doing right now. I'm sorry, guys. I got to stop talking for just a second, just so that I can offload all of this stuff, all of this junk. So many sticks. Kind of want to give them. Let's do something like that and just give them their own row. How do I want the stuff? Yeah, something like that. There we go. This kind of demonstrates what I'm talking about, right? My compulsive methodology when it comes to Minecraft. All right, I think I got my saplings in this chest, this barrel rather. Oops. All right, that's it. That's it for now. Sure, I'll hold on to that hoe. I don't really. Yeah, I'll hold. I go through hoes every now and then, a good bunch of times. That's fine. I'll just hold on to it for now. I can drop off the eggs. I don't need the eggs. Okay, I think we're good now. It's almost the end of this second day. Oh, I'm gonna go farm. Let's go farm real quick. It's not even nighttime yet, but I guess this is. Why not? Why not? It feels like a good time to do this. So the way that I build things, I kind of like things to look right when you make a map. So that's one thing, and I also I allow the terrain to determine where I place my builds, and I put a lot of time in determining where to place the builds, and I like them to feel like the world decided them for me. So this one was kind of, this was just a a good. I took a long time figuring out where to build this house, and I'm very happy with the location I just settled on. This was not so like I actually really like to build houses on top of cave openings, but I couldn't find one. I mean, there is one that's within this biome, and that cave opening, even if I was to build something on top of it, it's not actually a very good cave opening for something like that, because the bottom of the cave that it opens into kind of just leads into a ceiling of a very large chasm. So there isn't really any way to make your like a staircase that goes down into it. You have to start from the bottom, to. I think that's right there actually where that fence post is in the middle of the screen. I marked it with the fence post. There is a cave there. So that's the kind of spot. Those are the kinds of locations where I like to build a house on. And I spent an entire episode just wandering through the forest looking for something like that, and not finding it. And that's the only cave opening, right? Unless you count that big one that's around where their sheep is. But I can't start a starter house on top of that giant, massive opening, because that's going to take forever. That's going to be a mega project that's going to take hundreds of days, Minecraft days. So I didn't want to get started. So this is just as good as they've got. I really like this location because I really like how the sunset looks from here and how the moonrise look from here. And I'm going to enjoy watching mobs. I'm going to probably flatten this terrain out a little bit. But the sheep farm is actually going to be a good distance away from the house, because I decided that I didn't really want, like, I thought about placing the sheep farm like around the house somewhere. Let's just move up to the top floor, and then I'm just going to use the free cam mod to fly around a little bit. Let's just fly around a little bit just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I considered building the sheep farm right next to the house. Problem with that is you're going to hear sheep sounds all the time when you're in the house. So I typically try to avoid doing that, unless it's like a little bit further. Like I also thought about like building them over here, along the like on this side of the farm, and kind of just have an extension to the farm and have some sheep there. But I decided that I don't think it's going to look right. I decided that I want to have this fence gate going. So like, I don't know, I took some things, I thought about multiple different ways in which I could do this, and perhaps that actually wouldn't have been bad. Like actually, to be frank, that wouldn't have been a terrible idea. It would have been basically all right. Maybe I should do that. I should reconsider that actually. Maybe I should do that. I have second thoughts. I have second thoughts about my second thoughts. But this tree, I kind of wanted to build it around here, because here I can make it big, right? So if I was to do it around here, like I think one of the reasons I decided against this because I wanted to be able to walk around it easily. Whereas if I had a sheep farm joining this farm, well, you'd have to go all the way around the sheep farm if you wanted to get to this side of the house, or you'd have to open gates and stuff. And I just really like how the structure is as it is. Like right now, this structure feels perfect to me, just outright perfect. And I hate to use the term perfect because it makes me feel like I'm greedy for perfection. I don't like to be that way. Typically, I allow for some certain things that I don't like 100%, and I just let them be because I can't think of any better way to make them. But with this particular house, it feels 100% perfect to me. Like there's nothing that I don't like about this house. Nothing. I like absolutely everything about it, and it's extremely simple, extremely small. It's basically the tiniest starter house imaginable. Well, I mean, I don't know. I experimented with even smaller builds, but this is the smallest house that doesn't feel cramped, right? That was the objective. That was the idea behind this, and I just love how it turned out. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy living in this house. But yeah, I thought about building the sheep farm, big sheep farm in this open field, right? Like I already chopped all these trees down. Why not? Why don't I build it here? And once again, I don't think that it's going to look all that great. It's just gonna look kind of out of place. I don't think it's gonna look great. I would prefer to just have an open field where perhaps there'll be like hunting grounds. Perhaps I'll leave it dark and I'll flatten it out, and I'll probably just have fun running around killing mobs at night in this field, or just watch mob watch from the house. But the sheep farm, I decided that I wanted it over here. even though it's going to intersect this ley line. But I really wanted to utilize this tree because I like to have these big natural trees as part of the fence. Like I like the big natural trees to kind of define the border. So like the fence is gonna join this tree, and it's gonna like basically what I'm getting to is I spend an egregious amount of time figuring out where to place a rectangularly shaped fenced off air enclosure for sheep. And you don't even use wool that much in Minecraft. The utility of it is minimal. Like I'm barely even going to utilize the farm very much. I don't even need the freaking wool. There isn't really any. I mean, besides for beds, besides for like just building more beds, I guess. But there's wild sheep all over the place, and you only need like a couple. Like you just need a couple of sheep normally, and that's all the sheep you need to just for the beds. Unless you're trying to get lots and lots, unless you're trying to hoard wool, you don't really need a lot of sheep. But I also really like sheep. Sheep are my favorite mobs in the game. So even though there's going to be very minimal utility, I wanted to build a sheep farm. And I wanted to build it specifically right here because of this nice big tree. And the reason I like these nice big trees is because of the animism aspect. Because I like to imagine that these trees matter to the world. That the world, like, look at it, it's beautiful, it's big, and it's fantastic. The world, the spirit of the mountain, of Patience Mountain. This is Mount Patience is what I called it because I need a lot of patience. And you guys need a lot of patience to endure these very long, rambling episodes. These are not for the impatient. But I wanted to build it here because I think it would look right. It would fit the terrain well, and I think it's gonna look like it's supposed to be there. And I think that the world would be happy. The spirit of Minecraft would be happy with that placement of this to have this sheep farm here. So it looks like I'm gonna need to like chop it because I wanted to extend out to this tree, and I kind of want to. So I'm gonna level some terrain. I'm gonna chop some more trees down. Yeah, I want to chop some more trees around here, just to go around the tree a little bit more. These ones need to go. I'll just chop these three down. These ones, and then that's all I want to do for now, because I want to move on. I want to move to the next step. I didn't really mean to get carried away for so long, working on this sheep farm. I mean, I spent so many episodes chopping trees down just because I was working my way towards this place where I wanted the sheep farm to be. And that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say that I'm kind of a crazy person playing Minecraft in a very peculiar way that I don't see anybody doing, because it's not, it's not how, if you were playing Minecraft to have fun, right, you probably wouldn't be trying to do that. It's more of like the objective is to obtain a sense of fulfillment, I guess, and a sense of a strange, the concept of trying to make something fit the landscape, or to appease the spirit, the animism, the spirit of the world, of the Minecraft world that you're in, is the idea of this of the way that I play, but also to satisfy my obsessive compulsive urges, I guess. That's also a big part of it. So the sheep farm, it's going to cross the ley line. It's not the ley line. See, if it's one of the problems I encountered when I was planning this rectangular, very simple rectangular shape, when I was planning it very carefully, planning this out, one of the things that the problems that I encountered was that it was kind of, that tree is kind of right next to the ley line. I want lots of fence now. Let's go make like a couple of stacks of fence. Let's just use up one full oak log. I'm gonna need some of those sticks. Oh man, they're in that chest. I need to start remembering where my stuff is. I hate to just look through everything to find what I'm looking for. That should be maybe like one more stack. Let's just make a ton of fence posts, because it's gonna be a pretty big rectangle of fence posts. Oh wait, I got enough sheep to do this. Enough sheep, enough sticks. Yeah, let's just make tons of fence posts because you'll never run out of. Like you can always use some fence posts. I use fence posts all the time to put torches on top of them. I never put torches right on the ground. I always put a fence post on top. So I just carry fence posts around with me all the time, and this should be more than enough for the sheep farm that I have in mind. All right, I have one more day left in this episode, and these episodes are getting longer now that I'm spending so much time. No creepers, right? No creepers. I'm not seeing any creepers. There's that Enderman. I'm just going to avoid the Enderman for now. Try to at least... I got killed by an Enderman in my last run in the Nameless World. That's how it ended. And then I wanted to restart because I wanted to stay true to keeping it hardcore. Which I'm not going to do this time. I'm not going to restart if I die in this one. But I still want to try not to die. It would be great if I can avoid dying. But I have full iron gear and... I have a shield. I'm carrying around a shield, so I feel fairly safe now. All right, so you see what I mean. This cornerstone marks a spot. The cornerstones are they mark corners of the map. So if I was to make a map here, that's north, right? So this is the northwestern. The fence poles mark the northwestern corner. Is that north? I thought that was south. Okay, we gotta look real quick. No, that's north. I'm sorry. I had my directions messed up. So this is northwest. That's why I like to put the fence posts in the northwestern spot. It helps you. But placing these cornerstones really helps you orient yourself. And it kind of frames the land, the terrain that you're working with so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. So that Enderman, I'm very wary of him. I might end up going over there. Killing him real quick because he can just teleport right where you had your cursor pointed at, and it'll trigger his you'll go aggro mode. Anyways, this is north, that's west, so yeah, this is actually south, facing that way. But anyways, this cornerstone, if I was to make a map, right, you would see a wood colored pixel in the top right corner of the map, and then if I was to make a map right here, it would be in the top left corner, and so on and so forth. So there would be a wood-colored pixel in each corner of a map if I was to make 4 maps around this cornerstone. That's the idea behind the cornerstones, and I love to build them. We don't need that rotten flesh in my hand slot. I like to keep number 2 as a hand slot, and number 4 as well, actually. I like to keep number 4 also. And then I use the 6th slot for, like, building materials. And then I typically play without the user interface, unless I'm being attacked by something, or I'm counting blocks, or I'm looking in directions, or looking at the coordinates. But anyways, so this tree is right next to the ley line, and this is a problem because it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good on a map because I don't like things to be like right along the edge, because then it looks like it might go over the edge, and you don't have the other map to see to make sure that it doesn't go over the edge. So if it's like this, if I'm having to build a build that's like right next to the ley line, I would prefer it to just cross the ley line to actually emphasize the crossing. So what I'm going to do with this ley line, I'm going to have like 2 torches on these fence posts here, and this is going to be the crossing. This is going to be where it crosses. I'm going to have a gate on this side, and it's going to go out a little further in this direction. Let's see. It's going to be like 5. There's no creepers, right? No creepers. It's going to be 5 blocks away from the torch, from where this torch is. So it's going to be like it's going to be even numbered because of this, because it's crossing the ley line. The number of fence posts. Well, it also depends on where that tree is. So I haven't counted blocks to that tree yet, and I'm going to need to clear some, level some terrain too. It's still a good bit of work to do to really get this rectangle completely figured out, right? But let's count blocks real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 more, or not 5 more. No, not 5 more, because that's it. Because that's as far as, because going this way, that's about as far as I would want this corner to be. And now let's see how many. I haven't actually counted it, so I don't know how many it's even going to be. Let's go ahead and put a torch up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to put torches up on every 5th fence post when I'm doing this. 3, 4, 5. But then, like, you know, this is where the corner is going to be, so it might not actually add up to, oops, might not actually add up to 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I mean. It doesn't actually add up to 5. There's like a couple of blocks there, so, and I anticipated that. I knew that that was very likely to happen because I haven't counted these blocks. What I do in that circumstance, so I like to emphasize the place where the asymmetry. If I get asymmetry, let's see, so how many, where is the middle of this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, but it's still odd numbered. That's nice. At least it's odd numbered. Okay, well, in that case, we're gonna just, it's gonna be very easy to emphasize this asymmetry. I'm just gonna have an extra fence pole up here. And there we go. Now it's symmetrical. Well, that was easy. That was actually not bad at all. I thought it was gonna be an even numbered thing. And then you kind of have to have two torches like there. But let's see, on this side, okay, I'm gonna have to level this out. Perhaps out to here. Imagining something like this. These trees are gonna... Yeah, I was gonna chop these trees down. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to need to level this terrain. I'm going to have to carve a whole bunch of this out. So on this side, I'm going to emphasize the lead line with like a double post. Here, let me show you what I mean. So see what I'm saying about how I allow the terrain to determine, to guide me. I decided to, it's going to be this big because then it's going to align with that tree because I like the fences to intersect the trees. I like to incorporate the natural trees in the fences. And that makes me feel like the world, the spirit of the world is participating. It's kind of guiding the process. Okay, so I'm going to have, this is what I was talking about. I'm going to have like 2, maybe even 3. Let's actually have 3 fence posts there. Let's do something like this. Take it up to 3rd tier. Or is that going to look weird? Is that actually going to look weird? I don't think so. I think that's going to look all right. Yeah, I think that looks all right. So having that there, it's going to clearly designate the lead line. Like, this is where it crosses. This is where it crosses over into the other map, into whichever map that. Where are we in the coordinates anyways? We're half a kilometer to the east. So it actually crosses into like a level 2 map? Yeah, because like a level 1 map is a quarter kilometer. Level 0 map is the 8th kilometer map, 128 blocks. There's 128 blocks in level 0 map. And level 1 is 256. Level 2 is 532. So it actually crosses over into a level 2 map. So even on a half kilometer map, you're going to see, just this edge of a farm on one side, and then that edge is going to be on another map. But see, if it does that, then I want to emphasize the crossing. That's why I have this build, and I think it's gonna look just right once I'm done with it. I like how this enables you to walk around it. It fits the terrain in the sense that this is gonna look nice. It's gonna feel like it's situated in a place where it doesn't interfere with this giant hole. And if I was to eventually build, if I play in this world long enough, I'll eventually build something that goes into that hole. Eventually, am I losing a bunch of saplings there? Yeah, those are still saplings there to be gathered from the canopy. But anyways, do I want to just sleep outside? Nah, it's too late not to sleep outside. I'm gonna have to run back to the house to sleep real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. And it's also the end of the day. We're on, this is gonna be, that's the end of day 3. It's already a very long-winded episode now at this point. Well, at least I got started on my sheep build here. I'm gonna drop things off. Let's go ahead and drop things off. Oh, rotten flesh. I don't need the rotten flesh. I'll just hold on to the seeds and the saplings for now. I'm gonna have to come back there for some saplings. I need another shovel. Let's build a shovel. There we go. Now we're all prepared for the next episode, in which hopefully I will complete the sheep farm in the next episode. Hopefully. All right, I need to just make my conclusive remarks and end the episode now. So, see what I mean? The pace is extremely slow here. I'm still working on a sheep farm but I finally, at least I think I'm done with the tree chopping for the time being. That's where the sheep are going to be. You're not even going to be able to see them move. They're not even going to be moving around from this distance. You won't even be able to, like, you can do this and just fly around to them. They're going to be stuck in place like this big because they're too far away to to be simulated. Like, it's weird how, like, even if it's called simulation range. I mean, the simulation range is not referring to the range at which things start moving. Like, these mobs, they will just stay in place. And they're within simulation range in the sense that, like, what's called simulation range in Minecraft, like, you can, in the options setting, you can make that further out, and that still won't allow them to actually move. Oh, there's like no saplings at all here. All right, well, screw it. Then I probably won't have to come back here. There's nothing over here. I'll be back here next episode, anyways. These mobs are just gonna stay in place. They'll spawn. The simulation range determines how far away things spawn and grow. So, like, my simulation range is pretty, I think it's like, let's see what it is actually. This is what I'm talking about. 16 chunks is my simulation distance. It's actually pretty big. It's actually a good bunch. That's a good bunch. The rendered distance, 24 chunks. Simulation distance is more than half of that, 16. So, and the reason I have that is just so that it's because I tend to do this. I tend to have these farms that are like a good distance away from the house in which I live. And I want to make sure, like, if that was a cow farm, I would want to make sure that the calves are growing, while I'm hanging out in the house, or the trees. Sometimes I plant trees that are that far away. So that's why I have the simulation distance pretty high up. But like, you see this creeper moving around. That's because he's close enough. There's another kind of range that's not in the options that determines the distance at which things start moving. So yeah, the sheep, they're not even going to be moving around from this distance. Unlike the creeper that's hiding behind the tree now. Sneaky creeper. That's another one. All right, I gotta call this a day. I need to bring this episode to a close. I really appreciate you guys bearing with me. There's an Enderman there. See, if you're looking at Endermen through glass, you can do that. They're not gonna. It doesn't trigger them because mobs can't look through glass. He won't see you looking at him. But yeah, I gotta bring this episode to a close. It is time. It has been a long one, so I really appreciate anybody that stuck around all the way through. You guys are the best. And with that, I'll leave you until next time. All right. I've been recording these very sporadically now. I have no idea when I'm going to record the next one anymore, because I'm trying to do like 3 things. I was doing 4 things. Now I'm cut one of those things out. Now I'm doing 3 things at the same time. It feels like, and this is kind of one of those things, right? So I'm not sure when the next episode's gonna drop, but hopefully not too long. Perhaps in a couple of days. It'll be at least a couple of days from now, but maybe more. Probably more. I don't know. I'm not promising anything at this point. Might be like once a week, might be once a month. Hopefully not that rare, but there will be continuation to this. I really like how this channel is going. I really like the concept of this channel, and in the long run, I think I'll deliver. I will deliver on the proof of concept. Right. I will eventually make this into a philosophical platform for myself where I'll talk about philosophical concepts. For now, I'm just rambling. I'm just getting this world started. But that's it. That's it for today. Next episode, hopefully, I will complete the sheep farm build, the rectangular fenced off region that I very carefully planned out. But hopefully now you understand why I do that. I mean, it's not very clear, right? It doesn't really make sense. It's still not very clear. Like I don't understand the specifics of like what determines what feels right to me. Like I go with how it feels, with feelings. So like it feels like that's what the world wants me to do, what the spirit of Minecraft wants me to do. The animism. I honor the spirit of the Mount Patience. The spirit of Mountain Patience wanted me to build that sheep farm there, because that's why those natural trees are there, clearly, right? But I also do lots of stuff that doesn't really make sense. It doesn't seem to follow any kind of pattern that I don't even bother to explain to myself. I don't know. I don't understand myself all that well. But all right, I gotta call it a day. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time. Shadowlay, my fellows. Shadowlay.